Hey, it's Rosemary here. When last did you take a time out? Really? A time that was completely yours to do with whatever you will. Hmm? Not a time filled with mindless entertainment that prevents you from actually contemplating. Not a time when you escape thinking that by flicking through Facebook or some other technological distraction you can just stop thinking. No, a time when you did nothing but think and consider your best work. No sense of urgency, no sense of having to be anywhere, just you, a blank piece of paper, and your brain. A time when you dig deeper into the questions that you mostly try to avoid as you rush from activity to activity, doing what is expected and required of you. You need some space, and it will not happen unless you create it. There will always be something demanding your attention, always something that needs to be done. And as you keep doing all that seemingly urgent stuff, you coast. Coast on the surface of life and never ever dig deeper into your more creative parts. You never answer the questions about what you must do next to engage in your best work. You join with the norms in taking everything at face value rather than deliberately designing your own existence. And you're not a norm, honey. You're not. You're just not. You're called to something that eats at you. And in order to dig deeper into your real work, which is like nothing anyone else has done before, you must have space. You must have space. You're not a lackey that acts only to the whims of the people around you. You live life deliberately. It's not enough to do only what others expect or want of you. That is definitely the path to destruction for your creative soul. So how can you make space? Number one, wake up earlier, okay? I know it feels hateful to have to do this. You're convinced you need more sleep even than what you're getting right now, and now I'm trying to tell you to have less, really? But the truth is you don't. You don't. You're just a little deadened inside by trying to live to fulfill everybody else's whims and desires. And so, of course, you don't want to wake up and get straight back into that. Why would you? Why would you? Now you're starting to get deliberate about things. It's no longer about what others expect of you, but more about what you want your life to look like. And so you need the space of silence to think, to ask the deeper questions, to follow the rabbit trail, wherever it may take you to the answer. To expand your knowledge with books outside your realm of experience, to distill out ideas that will change you. And so you can now wake up earlier to follow your own agenda, okay? And you'll find that you do not need as much sleep as you thought, because this quiet time, this first time in the morning or first thing in the morning, when your brain is fresh, will become your time. Okay, it will become your time. So that's number one. Number two is find a creative spot. Find your own creative spot where you can do your best work. I must admit that currently my best spot is sitting up in my bed. There are times, even in the middle of the day, when I'm just kind of drawn back to my little spot in my bed. And that's where most of my work gets done. Okay, that's where most of my work gets done. At some point, I'll move out to the balcony outside my room. But for now, my bed serves the purpose of creativity. Okay, you may not be able to do that. You may not be able to avoid the attraction of sleep if you just sit up in your bed to be silent and to do some work. So you must find a space that works for you. It might be a local coffee shop or your own home office, or maybe it's even your office at work before all your colleagues get there. Okay, whatever it is, find your space. You might even think about adding a space to your home that is just yours and nobody else is allowed into it. Whatever it is, find your creative spot where you can do your work. You train yourself to kind of switch on the moment you sit at the desk, or in my case, sit up in bed, or whip out your journal or whatever, okay? You train yourself to actually do the work. Number three, say more no's. People will still expect what they expect of you, okay? And you'll have to learn to say no. They will assume that your time is theirs to use however they want it. If you don't firmly make your time yours to do with whatever you want with it, okay? Then people will take it from you. That's just it. A life just lived to satisfy the whims of those around you is not really life at all. You do kind of know this, but there's a part of you that likes the approval that comes from fulfilling other people's expectations. Enough. Okay? This is not your best work. Allow yourself time to think through whether a certain request being made of you will help or hinder your progress towards the goals you've set for yourself. If necessary, get into the habit of saying no first. Thinking about it, take some time to think about it, and then you can change your position if you choose. Be prepared, of course, to deal with the initial kickback, as people who are not used to hearing you say no will suddenly start getting it quite regularly. So yes, there might be some kickback, okay? And that's okay. There's always friction in change. That's fine, okay? Number four. There will be the resistance. And yes, for you, there will be the resistance. And this is just solely with you. It will rear its ugly head as you start to do something different. It will make carving out space seem as though it's frivolous and unnecessary, make it feel like you're being selfish. It'll want you to stay on your busy work trail so that you don't face the deeper questions about where you're headed and why. Don't give in. Do not give in. This is a fight for your best life. And as always, the fight is really mostly with yourself. So don't be reluctant to take yourself on. It seems crazy, but you will almost always be your own worst enemy, okay? It has nothing to do with anybody else. The fight isn't with anybody else. Taking the time to create this space will enable you to make more deliberate decisions about the direction of your own life, rather than just kind of falling into the passive flow of whatever anybody wants from you, yeah? It's your time. It's your time. So are you ready to go into battle for your most successful, most fulfilling life? Then go and get the free resource at rosemarynonniknight.com/impact. It's time to fight for to create the life, the business you want. Because you can. In fact, you know what? We're going to change that slightly. It's time to fight for to create the life, the business you are born to live. Okay? Okay then. Until the next time. Bye.